The HOA thought they could scare me by sending fake police officers to my house. They thought I'd just bow down, hand over money, and admit defeat. But what they didn't know was that I'm the chief of police. And when I exposed them, the entire neighborhood found out just how deep their corruption ran. I live in what's supposed to be a quiet suburban neighborhood. On the surface, it looks peaceful, perfect lawns, identical mailboxes, families walking dogs in the evening. But beneath that, we have a homeowners association. And if you've ever dealt with an HOA, you know they can be less about keeping things nice and more about power trips. Now, I usually keep to myself. I pay my dues, mow my lawn, keep my property clean. I'm not the kind of guy who looks for drama. But our HOA president? Let's just say she was the kind of woman who thrived on control. Her name was Karen, and yes, the name fit perfectly. It started with a letter taped to my door. Bright yellow, bold letters across the top, violation notice. The reason? Apparently, my patio furniture was not in compliance with neighborhood guidelines. Now, I've been on the job long enough to know intimidation tactics when I see them. This wasn't about furniture. It was about Karen wanting to prove she could flex her power. I called her to clear things up. "Karen," I said calmly, "what's wrong with my patio chairs?" She scoffed through the phone. "They're the wrong color. Only neutral tones are permitted. Yours are navy blue." "Ma'am, those chairs came with the house. They were here when I moved in." "Not my problem. You'll need to replace them within 14 days or face fines of $200 per day." At that point, I knew she wasn't just being picky. She was being predatory. I laughed. "Karen, with all due respect, these chairs don't violate any city codes. And your HOA handbook doesn't even specify patio furniture colors." That's when she snapped. "Don't you dare talk back to me. This is my neighborhood, and I will enforce the rules as I see fit." Click. She hung up. Within days, it got worse. I received another letter, this one saying my garage door was improperly painted. Then another about my grass being too tall, even though it was freshly mowed. It was obvious, Karen was targeting me. Then came the so-called inspection. 2 men in cheap uniforms showed up at my house, flashing what looked like badges. One of them barked, "Sir, you're in violation of multiple HOA ordinances. You need to come with us." I raised an eyebrow. "Excuse me? You're here to arrest me, over patio chairs?" The taller one puffed out his chest. "Failure to comply with HOA enforcement is a criminal offense. We're with neighborhood enforcement." I almost laughed out loud. Neighborhood enforcement? That's not a thing. So I played along. "Interesting. Can I see your ID?" The guy hesitated, then flashed a shiny badge that looked like it came out of a Halloween store. That's when I dropped the hammer. "Gentlemen, let me introduce myself properly. I'm chief head of the police department. And impersonating an officer is a felony." Their faces went pale. You're lying," one stammered. I pulled out my real badge and held it up. "No, gentlemen. This is what a real badge looks like. And congratulations, you've just confessed to a crime in front of a police chief." They bolted like scared rabbits. That's when I realized Karen had crossed a line no one should ever cross. This wasn't just about HOA rules anymore. She had hired people to impersonate law enforcement in an attempt to intimidate me. So I did what any cop would do. I opened an investigation. I pulled neighborhood security footage. I interviewed neighbors. And guess what? Turns out, I wasn't her only victim. Karen had been running a little extortion scheme. She wasn't just annoying, she was running a criminal racket. I compiled all the evidence. Fake badges. Recorded phone calls. Testimonies from neighbors. Then, one sunny Saturday morning, I knocked on Karen's door, this time with real officers behind me. She opened it, smug as ever. "Oh, it's you. Here to finally replace those chairs?" I smiled. No, Karen. I'm here to place you under arrest for impersonation, fraud, and extortion. Her jaw dropped. You can't arrest me. I'm the HOA president. I leaned in and whispered. Ma'am, you're about to be the former HOA president. The look on her face when the cuffs clicked? Priceless. The neighborhood was stunned when the news broke. People who had lived in fear of her finally felt free. The HOA board dissolved, and new leadership was elected, people who actually cared about the community instead of abusing it. As for me, I got a personal thank you card from half the neighborhood. Justice had been served. So, what do you think? Have you ever dealt with an HOA nightmare or a power-hungry neighbor like Karen? Drop your story in the comments, I read every single one. And if you want more real stories of entitled people getting what they deserve, make sure to subscribe. New drama drops every week.